When did conservatives become communist? Like, when did that happen? Like, I don't. What I want to talk about today, I want to talk about Jason Whitlock, and I'm going to talk about Jason Whitlock and his attacks against Stephen A. Smith. So those of you who don't know, Stephen A. or Jason Whitlock is a um sports commentator, has been a sports writer on TV for, I don't know, probably 15 years, 15, 20 years. He's been on ESPN on some sort of TV, been writing even longer than that. Currently he works for the Blaze and does more social commentary along with some sports commentary. But he's been really going after Stephen A. Smith recently, who's Stephen A. Smith, host of First Take, probably one of the biggest names in sports commentary. Um, and he's been saying some fair criticisms of him, like bringing up some at least inconsistencies in Stephen A. Smith's origin story about where he came from, what he's done and everything. Like at the very least, like it makes you say that's a little odd, but like recently he's attacked them for trying to, like, everybody in sports media for trying to make money, which is very weird to, like, as a free market absolutist, like, is a very weird thing to me for a conservative to do, who conservatives have always at least pretended to like the free market. Um, Earlier in the video we're about to watch, well, from the clip in the podcast, from the clip we're about to watch, he talks about there's two groups in sports media: the Show Me the Money Boys, which is Tony Romo, Troy Aikman, Colin Cowherd, all the high paid, Skip Bayless, all the high paid white people in sports media. And then there's the DEI group, which is Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Ron Clark, some other people that are still very well. I think they're everybody I just named I thought is very talented and deserves a lot of money, but whenever they don't get paid as much as the other guys, they claim it's because it's racism, and rightly points out how, like, no, Pat McAfee deserves the money he gets because Pat McAfee is great, but then he also criticized them all. He's like, oh, they all only care about money, like money's not a good thing. Like, this is the thing I think conservatives miss about everything. Like, conservatives miss in general. Like, they claim, like, conservatives will go out and claim this is a nation built on Christianity, and I'm gonna say, like, I am a Christian, but like, this country was not built on Christianity. This country is built on capitalism and wanting to make money. Like, I've read Ayn Rand. Like I do believe, like, I understand. Like, I think selfishness is actually a fairly good thing in general. I think by you do, like, because in a free market, to make your selfish desires, for you to, like, achieve your selfish desires, you have to bring value to other people. That's how economics works. Um, and that's what this country was built on. It really was, like, the first successful colony in in the United States, or the first successful English colony, was built on economics. Like, people left England, like it was Jamestown. People left England, their home, left everything behind to go into the unknown and try to make it rich. And I think that's a fundamentally the American spirit. Is, I don't know what's in store. I'm going to try to make it, and it's greed and selfish desires that drive that. It really is. Which I know that doesn't, like, I said I was a Christian. Now I'm saying, like, greed is one of the seven deadly sins, but it's like, you still, like, the desire to be great, and that doesn't necessarily mean money wise, but in anything, is what drives society forward. And I think America's actually lost the desire to be great. Like, entrepreneurs aren't trying to be great. People want to just kind of stay around, like, they're not pursuing. I think there's a great lack of adventure, desire to be great in this country that we're missing. And it's not, I don't think too much greed is really the problem in this country. I think it, like, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling right now. Let's get into the video where he, like, talks about Stephen A. Smith. Let's get into this.
And that's the common thread among virtually all of these people, they have no values in either group. Everything is about money. They don't stand for anything. As America burns, both groups, all they think about is how much money can I stuff in my pocket? I don't stand for anything. If I have to pretend Colin Kaepernick is Muhammad Ali, if I have to go along with the emasculation of football and all these sports, if I have to go along with Marxist ideology, if I have to go along...
You're spewing Marxist ideology. He is. Like, he's talking about how making money is bad. That's a Marxist concept. Like, trying to, like, be the best and succeed and make money is a good thing. Like, you criticizing the people for trying to make money. Like, I get it. There's criticized, like, Stephen A. Smith and everybody else. They do play the race card saying, like, oh, if you don't pay me as much as Pat McAfee, you're racist. And I don't know if he deserves as much as Pat McAfee. Like, I think Stephen A. Smith deserves the bag. Like, I don't like Stephen A. Smith. I think he's a race baiter, but he's had the #1 show on ESPN for over a decade. Like, he deserves something for that, doesn't he? And I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, he gets eyeballs to watch him, and that's the name of the game. And I don't know. This is just this hatred of success or people who want to be successful is very weird for me. Seems very weird to me coming from a supposed conservative.
On with globalism, just keep stuffing that money in my pocket and I'm all good. Because this second group, the people of color, the diversity, extortion, and income group, is getting a little less money than the white boys. They're more angry.
I mean, here's a point there. They're all making millions of dollars. So, like, they're all making a lot of money, even if they want to make more. They're all making very, very good money.
And they're more transparent and they're more aggressive in the fight. Here's Stephen A. Smith explaining, I think this is in a podcast interview he did with Bussin' with the Boys. He basically explains his values and what his goal is. And the whole American culture has been so radicalized in terms of materialism. This is going to sound good to a lot of people. This will sound like, yeah, this is smart.
America, like what he's best saying, it hasn't been like we haven't been radicalized in materialism. America was founded on, like I said earlier, capitalist ideas of people who left everything to try to become rich. That's what it is. That's what Jamestown was. It wasn't, I know, like the Massachusetts colonies were more of religious freedom and what wasn't even freedom. You had to be a Puritist up there. It wasn't a lot of freedom, but it was freedom to be a Puritist, but not freedom for anybody else who wasn't a Puritist. But it was very much like Christian, like Puritanism ideology is what was but the first one was strictly we want to make money and get rich. And that's what drove America to be great. It wasn't Christian values. Like, and I'm not even saying like Christian values are good. I think a great society needs Western, like, Christian values to succeed. I think without those, society does kind of fall apart like we're seeing. But what makes a country great is the desire to be great, which is driven by entrepreneurs who want to make money.
Stephen A. cares about is the money. Play the clip.
If I have the opportunity to do an abundance of other things that I want to do. If that opportunity doesn't present itself, then I'll have decisions to make, and so will they. I own my own production company. I'm producing a docu-series. Actually, it comes out later this month. It's a 3-part series on the history of sports commentators. I've got another series that has been greenlit, a drama series that I've created that I'm not at liberty to talk about, but it has nothing to do with Disney or ESPN. I've created a drama series that's coming out. I've got my podcast, which is not really a podcast, it's a show. Why? Because I spent my own money in 7 figures to build my own television studio. I want people to look at it and think hybrid. It's not linear. It's not digital. It could be both. You want a linear sports show? Got you. You want a sports digital show? Got you. You want a podcast? Got you. You want a late night show? Done. You want an afternoon talk show? Fine. You want me to be another version of PTI or something like that? Good. You want another creation of First Take? Fine. You want me to create a weekly format show that would rival Real Time with Bill Maher or the John Oliver show or the Daily Show? Fine. Whatever it is, I can do it because I've shown I can do it. And so that's where my mentality is, having the doors open, the opportunities available to me, and being in a position to explore things that I may have never imagined because I never knew it was available to me because all anybody thought about when they saw me was sports. Now they don't think like that anymore. They see my range. So who's to say whether it's me or somebody else that wants to work with me comes forth with a level of creativity and ingenuity necessary to say, Stephen A., this is what we think we could do with you and for you. This is the kind of money that you can make. Because the one thing I will never apologize for, I am about my money. I want to get paid. I ain't apologizing for that shit to anybody.
And you shouldn't. He shouldn't apologize to anybody for wanting to make money. That's what America was founded on. That entrepreneur spirit. Like, I'm going to go out there and create stuff. And I don't like Stephen A. Smith. Like, if you don't like Stephen A., that's fine. I think he's a bit of a race baiter. He like everything has to be about race with him. I that's kind of bullshit. I think he plays that up way too much. And he uses that to make himself rich, which you have that card. I mean, I don't judge anybody for trying to get paid either. But I don't think that's really good for society at all. I think he stokes the racial flames, but like nothing he said right there was on America was bad. It was all like, yeah, that's what found the entrepreneurial spirit of I'm going to create something, I'm going to own something, and I'm going to be great in everything I do is what made this country great. And it's something that we're seriously lacking. Like, if he does everything he says he's going to do and he starts his own production company and everything else, do you know how many jobs that's going to create for people that wouldn't have jobs before? And sure, journalism, like, criticize journalism all you want. That's fine. Like, journalists, I believe most journalists are the enemy of the people, and most of it is kind of fucking bullshit, and it gets crazy. But like, if he's able to go out there, be successful, and create a business, I don't care what industry that business is in, where he's hiring people, he's creating jobs and creating wealth for everybody, and that's what makes America great. Like, it's crazy that Jason Whitlock, a supposed conservative, is finding issues with that.
So there he is, and in all his glory, and many people will hear that, but man, Stephen A's right on it. This is amazing. Why could Whitlock? How can he criticize this? How can he have anything negative to say? Of course, he should be about his money. That's what the white man does. There are kernels of truth in that. Kernels of truth. But at some point, and just keep in mind, Stephen A. Smith and his attacks on me, he made reference to contacting his minister. He's pretending to have some sort of religious faith. And so if you're going to do that dance and pretend, money cannot be your master. This type of talk about money, and I'm about my money, and I don't give, and then cursing about, with this emphatic curse, blah, blah. If you don't have a higher calling, then can I make as much money as much money as possible? That's how you get exploited. That's how you get bent over. That's how you get turned out. That's how you get compromised. That's how you get so comfortable with telling people, hey, take this vaccine, even though you don't know anything about it. what you're basically doing with that whole speech is like, I'll do anything. And when I say anything, I will do anything for money.
That's not what Stephen A. Smith was saying. Literally everything he was saying was trying to, like, I want to build something so and make money and build something so I don't not relying on other people. Is what that speech sounds like. He says, like, yeah, I'm trying to build my own production company. I'm trying to produce stuff, and if Disney or Disney/ESPN won't let me do this, then I might go and do it in my own. Like, I've built this like he talked about his podcast. Like, I built this with my own money, so I don't need ESPN to make money. Like, I'm trying to build this, and so I don't need them. Like, I got that as he's trying to be his own boss, so he's not relying on people. Maybe I'm fucking retarded. Like, I don't know.
Tell me where I need to be, what I need to do, how much do I need to take my clothes off? What? Just tell it to me and I will do it. This is the love of money being the root of all evil. This is how you get so comfortable with untruths. And the biggest truth that Stephen A. Smith tells, because the puppet masters tell him to tell him, but he just contradicted. How long did this man go on about all the opportunities that are available to him? How long did he go on? Just opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. It was an incredible long list. But that same man wants to say, man, it's racist over here in America. I'm being held down.
All right, that's a fair point. That's a fair point by Whitlock. Yes, that's he did list every opportunity he has right there. List all the opportunities he has, and then talk about how. Then he also goes out there and talks about how he's being treated unfairly because he's racist. Because I know what he's talked about, how if he says something, like, I think in that same podcast that we saw, I think it was in the same podcast that we just saw Stephen A. in with the Bustin' the Boys podcast, he talks about how if he said some of the stuff that McAfee said, he would be reprimanded and fired. It's like, yeah, but that's because Pat McAfee doesn't need ESPN. ESPN needs Pat McAfee way more than Pat McAfee needs ESPN, and Pat McAfee knows that. And I'm not gonna lie, I think ESPN needs Stephen A. Smith way more than Stephen A. Smith needs ESPN. I do believe that too, and I don't think Stephen A. knows that, and he will get the bag. But Stephen A. will get the bag. But no, he like him saying that Pat McAfee gets away with stuff that he wouldn't because of racism or because Pat McAfee's white. That's bullshit. Like, that is bullshit. Then saying things are racist and against him when he talks about all the opportunities he has. No, America's a great country. There's opportunities for everybody. But, like, attacking someone because they have a desire to be great just seems un-American. And I don't know. Maybe I'm a capitalist pig, but seems like Whitlock is just grabbing at straws just to find a way to, like, there's plenty of legitimate criticisms, even in this video if you want to go watch the whole podcast, like, there's plenty of legitimate criticism against Stephen A. He does, but to point out that, like, the spend so, like, what was it, 7 to 10 minutes on this one just seems like, what are you doing? Yeah, he wants to be great. Being great is what made America great. Like, the people's desire to be great is what made America great. So, I don't know. If you disagree with me, comment, let me know. If you agree with me, also comment, let me know. Like, share, subscribe. That's about all I got. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.